Hey everyone, it's Sanni. So this is going to be a quick tutorial for the look I was wearing in 2012 tag video. I got loads of requests to do it, and for me it's a slightly different look than I wear on like a daily basis, so I actually thought it might be fun to do. So it's a light but defined eye look is how I would describe it, I guess. So usually I wear quite much darker, like medium to dark shadows on the moving part of my lid, but this is quite a light shadow look. The only darkness comes from the liner and just the very outer corner, and of course some fake lashes. This is a great look if you want to make your eyes appear bigger. So there's a lot of lightness, but there's also kind of definition and fake lashes. You don't have to wear them for this look if you don't want to, but fake lashes do kind of really make your eyes look bigger. So that is, you know, it is a great trick. And just try and find lashes that really suit your eyes. The same pair of lashes doesn't necessarily suit everyone. So, you know, go and get some cheap ones, try them out and see which ones you like, and then you can always invest in a similar, more expensive one if you like. But yeah, I mean, this is not a particularly difficult look, so I'm just going to get started. For foundation, I use the Illamasqua Skinbase foundation, and I'm a 6.5. Just to compare, I'm an NC 2025 in MAC foundations. And this is an amazing, beautiful foundation. I'm really in love with it. And I'm just going to let it sit on the skin while I do my eye makeup. And also there might be a little bit of fallout, so I'm not going to powder or do my under eye concealer, so we'll get straight onto the eyes. I'm going to use two paint pots, Painterly and Rubenesque. You don't necessarily need to use two, but I kind of prefer to do it that way. And I'm using the Sigma P84. This is the precision angle brush, and it's become one of my favorites for any type of cream shadow. Also for concealer. So I'm putting the Painterly on the whole eyelid, kind of all the way to the brow bone, and kind of all the way to the inner corner, and I'm just going to leave a little bit free for the Rubenesque. And I'm taking the Rubenesque, and this is just for the outer, well, not the outer corner, I would say I'm putting this on the outer half of my eye. And this will just intensify the effect of the shadows that we're putting on top. And I'm also using the detailer brush from, oh my god, my mind went packs, Real Techniques. And I am just doing the lower lash line. This really helps for the shadow to kind of stick, and I tend to just buff it a little bit with my finger. I'm then going to use MAC Naked Lunch, which is a champagne color, and MAC 239, and I'm doing the kind of the bridge of my nose and the inner half of my eye. I'm also kind of taking it, here I'm taking it all the way to the eyebrow, and I'm using it for an eyebrow highlight as well. I'm then taking MAC Goldmine. I'm just going to flip the brush around, just keep using the same brush, and I'm going to do the outer half of my eye with this. Half of my eyelid, I'm trying to say. And I'm just going to kind of blend it inwards. I'm moving on to Expensive Pink, also by MAC, and switching brushes to the 217, and I'm going to run it along my crease. I'm doing like a very, very big V, and then also I'm going to run it just under my lash line. And keep blending it really well, really blend it into that Goldmine. I'm then going to take Rich Brown by Bobbi Brown and also my Inglot 10S brush, and we're going to do the outer V, but a much smaller outer V than you just did with the expensive pink. And then take the same 217 and just blend it out. So right now your eyeshadow should look right about like this. We're going to add a little bit more rich brown, but I like to do the liner at this stage. So first I'm working my Too Faced 3-way liner into the lash line. I have become obsessed with this liner. Then for the actual liner, I'm using Fluidline by MAC and my angled brush. This is by Smashbox. And really work the color into the brush. So I tend to start in the middle and work my way out. I also like to kind of get it into the roots of the lashes. And then I start working my way in. And really concentrate on getting it into the roots. Then in the outer corner, I like to pull my eye up a little bit. And I'm just going to wing it out slightly. But this isn't a strong liner look, so I'm not like, you know, winging it out tons. And I'm just winging it out towards that rich brown. And then I'm also going to, in order to make your eye look bigger, I'm actually going to fake it in the inner corner a little bit as well. So take your liner all the way to the inner corner, and then on the lower lash line, I'm actually going to kind of draw a little bit of a pointy kind of thing to go towards my nose. Now if your eyes are really close together, don't do this, because this does make your eyes look closer together. I'm then going to use an angled brush and the same rich brown, and I'm just going to run it over kind of the outer edge of the liner and connect it to that rich brown that we already used. You can see I get fallout at this point. And I'm also really, really gently just kind of running it in the outer quarter, outer third with the same angle brush. And then I'm going to take Highbrow by Benefit and just run that on the waterline. I really love this for opening up eyes because your waterline is already pink. It's not skin color, so actually to me this one looks better on the waterline. Quick coat of mascara. This is the Maybelline Colossal Volume. I'm not going to curl my lashes because I'm using fake lashes and they actually match the curve of my own lashes really well. I'm then going to pop on, well, one of them is travelling inside, some red cherry lashes. You don't need to use fake lashes with this look if you don't want to, but they really, fake lashes do, when you find the right shape for your eye, they do make your eyes look bigger. So I'm going to put these on and I'll be right back. Then I'm going to clean under my eyes. There's a little bit of fallout just with the foundation. I tend to do the cleanup with foundation, not concealer, but you could do that with concealer as well. I'm then going to use my Armani Maestro Eraser, and this is a number 2 with my 224. I'm just going to kind of lightly buff it under the eyes. I am going to do a little bit of a triangle down, but not massive by any means. I'm then going to use my January Absolute Love, the Eshiko HD Powder. Now this powder is super, super fine. It's kind of like the Makeup Forever HD powder, but this one is far superior because it doesn't flash back. Fortunately, the Makeup Forever powder does have like a flashback effect, so I don't really use it. I'm just going to do nose, I'm going to do under the eyes, and then just kind of here where I tend to get larger pores. This covers, it's HD powder, but it covers pores. It's amazing. Then for eyebrows, I'm going to use MAC Charcoal Brown. I usually would use Omega, which is the lightest one, but I recently dyed my eyebrows a little bit darker, so Omega is not quite dark enough right now. And I'm not going to do that much with them, just kind of fill them in. For cheeks, I'm going to use a couple of Deborah Milano. Deborah Milano. Hold on, my mind's gone completely blank. Blushers, and the first one is Cacao, and this is a little bit like Nars Douceur, but it's just ever so slightly warmer. And I'm using a big Bobbi Brown blush brush, and I'm doing kind of very broad strokes on my cheeks, under my chin. I love this for like contouring effect. And then I like to do my forehead because I feel like it's quite wide. Then I switched to Deborah Milano Paprika, and it is I love this color. It's like a very berry type color. And I switched to a smaller, this one is the MAC 116 blush brush, and I am just putting it slightly above the apples of my cheeks, quite lightly. I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick, the original, as my highlighter. I'm going to use it with the Bobbi Brown, just the standard Bobbi Brown highlighter brush. Actually, it's not called that, it's called a face blender brush. Don't know why. Actually, I'm going to use a little bit of this lightest color with a small brush, like the Louise Young number 18 brush. I'm just going to add a little bit of this into the inner corner. A tiny bit more lightness here. Then for lips. So somehow I managed to lose the tiny little clip, the beginning of the clip of doing my lips. It's gone into thin air, but I'm using the Night Mahogany lip liner. Love this, it's really great. And I kind of filled it in a little bit and then blend with my finger. Then I'm going to use MAC Peachstock. It's one of my all-time favorite nudes. It's an amazing color. And I'm just going to use a lip brush, if I can find one. This is not going as planned, is it? And yeah, I'm just going to use a lip brush. And what I like to do, when I do kind of like a little bit of an ombre effect on lips, is I place the color in the middle. And then I really kind of smush my lips together. And then blend some more. And that's it, that's the look finished. I hope you enjoy this. I mean, we all always kind of want to make our eyes bigger. Well, most of us want to make our eyes bigger. So I hope some of the tips were useful, and I will see you very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.